Okay, being 5:15, I call the August meeting for economic development to order. Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call has been taken.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, looking to adopt the agenda as it has been presented.
To adopt the agenda.
Second. Okay, we have a move by John and a second by April. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Okay, we are approved for the agenda. I would consider a motion if there are no additions or corrections to the July 22nd meeting minutes. I'd consider a motion to approve them as written.
Second.
I have a motion by Dave and a second by John. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Sure. I wasn't.
One abstention from Hans. Okay, public comment. Yes, if you could please come forward towards the mic.
Yep, over by the mic, please. On the
your
table.
left.
Shirley Sternberg, I just would ask that you have public comment after you have discussed an item. Because we can't comment after you discuss it, because right now we don't know what you're discussing. If you understand what I'm saying, it would be nice if we could talk after you have done your information. Thank you.
Shirley, where are you from?
New London,
Address, please.
1110 Westford Water.
Thank you. Any other public comment?
Yeah, name's Steven Sternberg. I want to talk about the solar farm. Are you aware that there are solar panels made in China that shut down the electric grid? Are you aware of that?
This isn't a question and answer. This is just for you to give input. So
Huh, okay, well, there are. And are you aware of what the material is that the panels are constructed of, what goes into the ground? You know what material that is? If it's galvanized steel, that puts zinc in the ground. And that ground cannot be used again for anything planting. And as far as you're getting paid to have these panels put in, correct? From these people that do it, they're paying you money. That's bribery. No. That's about all I have to say at the moment. So, thank you.
thank you.
Mr. Sternberg, are you also at?
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other comment?
Darla Meshke on New London. My question is, I believe there's two different issues here. There's 2 acres that may or may not be for sale. Is that for sale? I don't know. Over by the utility, that is New London. And then there's also 1,600 acres on the north side. I just need clarification on both of these areas and who's responsible and who's, as you can see, there's not a lot of people here, but people will complain. It just needs to be very public, like they were saying before, because everything is always done underneath, I feel, and we never have public knowledge. It's always after the fact. So again, I just want to know exactly what's going on with the 1,600 and the 2 acres, which last time I called the city, the utility, they said the 2 acres has not yet been for sale or has not yet had an offer. So I just need to be clear what's going on and who's all involved. Is New London involved in both or just the one in the city? That's my question. Can somebody answer that, or you will answer that at the meeting?
This agenda,
Yes.
that topic's not on the agenda for tonight. So
It's not.
we are not talking about that for tonight. It was talked about last month. And we don't have anything to talk about. We don't have anything new to talk about tonight from last month's meeting.
So then last month's meeting is public and I
Absolutely.
can go back and get it. And
Absolutely.
that's what I'll do then. My misunderstanding, I thought tonight that topic was coming to be discussed. So when you get more information or the sale of that 2 acres, then you will have another meeting, correct?
Correct.
Then that's fine.
I will give some information for my
Yep.
director or my city administrator's report.
And
But
that's
yeah,
all I want to be informed
Mhm.
as that 2 acres and the 1,600, when somebody puts an offer in on that, that's all I want. I don't want to lose the 1,600 myself because it's farmland. And that's just me. We all have our own agendas.
Darla, what's your address?
1615 Nassau.
Is there any further public comment?
Do I have anything further? Nope, I just want
No,
everything.
no, anyone. Is there any further public comment? Okay.
As you well know, President Trump is doing away with solar and wind subsidies. And this company that wants to do the solar farm is making a big push because their subsidies end. And if they do not have construction started by July of 26, they lose their subsidies. Thank you.
Is there any further public comment? Okay, hearing none, I will close public comment. I do want to address a couple of the items that were brought forward, like City Administrator Herth said, that is not an agenda item for this evening. There have been numerous meetings of this committee talking about the solar farm. There was a public meeting up at the Washington Center regarding the solar farm. All of these things were publicly posted out there. The meetings are recorded and are on our YouTube website. So you can go back, you can even go back and see what exactly Avangrid is looking for from New London. So anybody wanting any information about this project and New London's potential maybe involvement and what they're asking for from us versus Maple Creek's portion of it, all of that is out there as public knowledge. So, okay, so there's nothing under the table happening. It's
And I
up.
didn't say there was, I'm just saying thank you.
Yes, okay, thank you. Okay, with that, we will move on to viewing the results from the public voting and recommend to council a new city slogan.
all right, we're gonna invite Katie Hopkins, our video and marketing producer, up to give us the results.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Good to see you again. So as Chad said, I have the results of the city slogan voting, and I will reveal the final one. But first, just a little bit of a summary. Our voting lasted from July 11th through August 19th. We had the announcements on Facebook and the papers, and community members were able to vote in various locations, plus by email. So they were able to vote at the Senior Center, Library, Museum, Aquatic and Fitness Center, Municipal Building, and the Chamber of Commerce. In total, there were 188 votes cast. So the final three options that everyone was able to vote on was Small Town Big Welcome, Where the River Leads Home, and Where the Wolf Flows Community Grows. And I will do a very tiny ceremonious little drum roll. And the final result, the winner is Where the Wolf Flows Community Grows. And so I did add just, if anyone would like a copy of this presentation, just some breakdowns of the voting by location and by slogan and all of that. But so 188 total, and with 105 votes, Where the Wolf Flows Community Grows was the winner. So what I'm asking of you is to recommend this to council, if you so choose, to be adopted as the next official slogan for the city of New London.
Thank you for putting this together, Katie.
You're welcome.
Yes.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, motion made by April, seconded by Dave to use the slogan, to adopt the new official slogan for the city of New London as Where the Wolf Flows, Community Grows. Is there any discussion? Okay, from there, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, hearing none, we will make that recommendation to council.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your time.
And thank you, Katie, that was a lot of research and work. Thank you. Okay, next agenda item is to discuss the strategic planning and revitalization for communities workshop scheduled for September 4th. And I believe we have Ginger coming in.
Hi guys, I am here. Thank you for the floor. I appreciate that. So, as you all know, we were selected by East Central Wisconsin Planning Commission to have a strategic planning and revitalization for communities, which is SPARK, is the acronym for short. So what that is, just to clarify, for anyone that might not know, is a one-day intensive workshop designed to help rural communities to identify and plan projects that support not only economic development, but also transportation goals. When I submitted the program application, I knew that we had already did something very similar with our student from UW-Madison, Milo Augusto. So neither one of these programs is actually like rubber stamped by an actual engineer per se, but I'm very interested to see what both of these workshops and what we did with Milo, how they can connect and merge to make our own decisions based on what we find through those two studies. Some of you may have gotten already an email with the date of the event. Those people included in the stake key holder. There's a lot of words that, but the primary group of people that will meet first will be obviously myself, April Kapitsky as the chair of the Economic Development Committee, of the Chamber of Commerce, Belinda Croy as the chair of the Economic Development Committee, Bob Besaw as the chair of the Parks and Recreation Committee, Chad Hirth, and then, of course, the mayor. So those are the key individuals, they like to call it, or the applicant. So those are the people that will take most of the day up with East Central Wisconsin. But a very important part of this is to also include the public, including the community around that area, the business owners, and those they call the key stakeholders. So there's key individuals and key stakeholders. But my discussion with you tonight is just to round up and use you guys as a sounding board as to who you may think you want to target with business owners in that area. It's the same area that we went over with Milo. So the head of the Berniger River Walk, the 2 empty lots on South Pearl Street in between Longevity and the Wolf River Pub. And then also St. John's will be looked at briefly, but we need to remember that this is also targeting a transportation goals. So we want to look more at how that trail of the Berniger trailhead kind of connects with our other trails, makes safer walk to school situations, and things like that. So as far as the calendar invite goes, those of you that were invited, I do encourage you to come if you can make it. If you cannot, I would suggest that you encourage somebody from the committee to come in your place. And then, April, this is probably kind of in your wheelhouse as to what businesses you're thinking might be interested in joining. I have invited Longevity and Events Everlasting, and I sent an email to the Wolf River Pub owner. But I guess that's you guys are you're the ones that speak for the people. So I would definitely encourage you all to hand out information on it or just get more information to the community about it.
Ginger, did you reach out to Swiderski?
I'm sorry, the mics need to be turned up maybe a little. I'm at max and I didn't hear that.
No, I'm sure that's on me. Did you reach out to Swiderski?
I did not, but I do have their contacts, so I can put that on my list. Yep, absolutely.
And just to recap again, the date is September 4th. We're looking for the public to come like at 9 o'clock, right, Ginger?
Yes.
So 9
No,
o'clock.
wait, yes, but hang on. So at 9 a.m. Let's see, with key stakeholders identified with this social. So, yep, 9 a.m.
So 9 a.m. The public is invited to come for public input. If anybody can attend, we would invite you to, submit any information that you would have for ideas to either Ginger or myself. And then the presentation again is at 4:30.
Yep.
And that is a public presentation to kind of give an idea of what they came up with for ideas for the project. So again, just to recap, we're looking at doing a placemaking, just a community improvement project. We got some free technical assistance workshop opportunity through East Central. And yeah, we would like to get the word out if anybody wants to be part of that. Again, September 4th, 9 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. is a presentation. Again, Washington Center, the North Room, correct?
Correct. Yep. And so that's the west entrance where you would vote if you're in that district. Just another thing, I just want to make sure that I highlight that a lot of this they want to have focused on as you said, placemaking, but also transportation, which can be ped or multi-ped, so bike or walk. So just moving through our downtown businesses freely and without, safe and safely. So that's kind of was the focus when I submitted the application is how can people move from Pearl to downtown to our trail system to the west safer. So just some thoughts.
And are there any questions regarding this yet? Okay, and it is my understanding now that I need to appoint that core committee. Okay, so As the chairman of the Economic Development Committee, I'm appointing to the core committee for the Strategic Planning and Revitalization for Communities program. April Kapitsky, Bob Bisa, Chad Hirth, Mayor Mark Herter, and myself.
And Ginger.
And Ginger, sorry. And
That's
Ginger
okay.
Schools.
I can work behind the scenes too. That's my favorite.
No, we want you on the.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, no, so thank you so much. Any further questions at any time, you know where to reach me.
Okay. Hearing no further questions regarding this, we will move on to view the attendance results from the Legion State tournament. Thank you. Yeah.
So in your packet, we took the opportunity to gather the information from Place REI. Again, we are a member of the Wapaka County Economic Development Corporation, and the corporation purchased a subscription to Place REI, which allows us to get information for different events or different type of things in the community. So we ran a report through the corporation for the Legion 2025 Legion baseball tournament. I'm hoping everybody knew that was happening in town because it's a huge deal, and it was a great economic draw for the community. But we took the opportunity to run the data for that, and as you can see, so there were over 4,000 visitors that came during the August 1st to August 5th timeline for the tournament at Hatton Park. And those visitors collectively created 9,300 visits at Hatton Stadium, which is phenomenal. So I think I've got the box that was drawn was pretty much it's the stadium for the most part, because if you attended, you were inside the stadium. Just a great event. You know, we did hear things from the community. There were people posting online saying, thank you for bringing that to their community because it supported our businesses. I know there was one business, you know, saying that they were full, a restaurant in town, but a really good event, a really good turnout, and just one of those things that can show that these events bring a lot of people to the community. Good stuff. So any questions with that? I don't know, was anybody involved directly with the event, at the event?
I help volunteer.
So if you want to kind of throw some input on that, I don't know.
There was a lot of people.
Yeah, I would just say props to Mr. Thorpe and the rest of the Clippers. I thought it was really well ran and very well attended. Great job.
Props to the Park and Rec department and all the kids that
Yep.
worked there, because
Everybody really
I
came
mean, one
together.
story was we were there Wednesday, or Thursday, whatever day we painted the field. And a dad and a kid came from New Richmond, and they actually just sat in the stadium for like an hour and watched us. And then they were able to walk out on the field. They couldn't believe where they were playing. I mean, it's huge to have that stadium here. Now we just got to make sure Jim goes and gets it again a couple times. We can't wait another 50 years or whatever it was, 60 years, 90, whatever it was. We need that more often.
Yeah, it was
I
really
will
cool to see
definitely
this.
pass that along. Thank you, Dave.
It was nothing but compliments about that park. Even the bathrooms, you know, we all think they're dungeons, but they didn't. They were, you know, it was nice.
Very good to hear. Very good to hear. Any other discussion, comments? Okay, hearing none. We will move on to updates and reports, business updates from April.
All right, I just got a couple updates to share with you. The first is a new business called F&S Grocery, which is located at 108 West North Water Street. Chad and I had the pleasure of going down and meeting these new owners. They just opened in July, just a small little grocery, another grocery option for town. So it's good to see. And they get some really great hours. That's nice to see for downtown. Open daily 8 to 10 p.m. So go and check that out. Business acquisition, I think everybody in the room is aware that Hilby's has sold, but the new sign is officially up, so I want to report on this. Harvey's Restaurant and Sports Bar is officially open. He's got some new menus going, so definitely check that out. We have a business that closed in June, and I was waiting because I knew she was retaining her LLC. She's gonna continue like an art studio out of there. She does chalk couture out of there and some doTERRA essential oil. She's located at 112 West Wolf River Ave. So that means we are down to one daycare. I think I reported on that when Babes was going out, but we are down to one daycare, and our New London daycare is sitting at a 2 to 3 waiting list right now. Business renovation update, Wolf River Pub is doing some awesome renovations. You can see all that siding that's been taken down. Located at 211 South Pearl Street. And then everyone is invited to our next ribbon cutting coming up on September 9th. We have a new business that is coming to town. Her grand opening is that day as well. Moonstone Salon, located at 1620 North Shawano Street and Suite D. That will be at 4 p.m. If you plan to be in the picture, just arrive a few minutes before 4 p.m. Thank you. Oh, sorry, commercial listings. The two newest updates, Sandy Dufresne just posted. It looks like Kurt has changed his mind and he's relisted his property. So this would be that entire new property over by Subway. And that entire thing, I can't see that price. I want to say it's 1.3. Can you see that from the screen?
Mhm.
I think that's what he listed it at before. And then 200 North Pearl Street. So this is where Elite Sales was. This is going to be right in front of Familiar Grounds. Mr. Coyle has got his business for sale. Just a reminder, we have these listed on our chamber website. If you have any questions, we can get you in touch with the realtors. Any questions? Thank you.
Okay. If there's no further questions for April, then we will move on to the city administrator's report. Chad?
All right, a couple things in the packet, and I have a bunch of other things that I didn't even get in the packet. But first of all, for the individuals that came to the meeting, we're talking about the solar farm or solar array information. Yes, we did talk about that last month and some meetings before that. I was hoping that we would have something, they did make an offer to purchase. We are negotiating that offer to purchase, as the committee knows. I am not in a position right now yet we're not done negotiating, and the attorneys are still involved. So I'm hoping to have something ready for our next meeting in September, not August, but if we have that available, we'll bring that to the next meeting for discussion and consideration. But that's still being worked out, that their offer to purchase is being negotiated.
And Chad,
Mhm.
for the record, to clarify, the offer to purchase is for a substation in the industrial park and a maintenance building in the industrial park. And that is what New London has stake in this project. We have,
Correct. The offer
Yeah.
to purchase is for a parcel in our industrial park that we have for sale. We have many acres that we've been, advertising for sale for many years. The offer to purchase is to purchase I don't even know what this is right here. That is 5.29 acres of land right here for a maintenance shed. And then they also would like to purchase, I don't even remember what this was, 7 or 8 acres or something right here for a substation. So their proposal, as they've provided information in the past, is that none of the solar array would be in New London. The only items that they're asking from the city is to purchase land for a maintenance shed and then a substation that would connect to the ATC substation in there. So if there's any information at the next meeting, I will present that at the next meeting for discussion. The next item on my report is I provided a summary of breakdown of all the facade improvement grants in 2025. I gotta say, it's been very exciting to see all the improvements we're seeing in the downtown. You're noticing a lot this year. I think just with the downtown reconstruction project that we did the last 2 years, it's just great. This is the most facade grants we've given out since that I can remember. But in your packet, I've just provided a list of all the facade improvements that were awarded and what they're doing. There's some of them on this list that haven't even started yet. So there's going to be more improvements that you're going to see as time goes on. But this is the list of awardees for the facade improvement for 2025.
Chad, did 416 West North Water Street apply for?
Yeah.
Oh, they did.
Yep.
Okay.
And that one actually was for their roofing facade. More so the roofing was more for anything, but you can see they're making a huge improvement to
Oh, it's gorgeous.
the building over there. So.
Yeah. I stopped in today and told them that
I
it's
think-
absolutely gorgeous.
Yep, I think theirs, I think Familiar Grounds, with
Yep,
painting,
the old city hall.
the old city
It's
hall.
all looking great.
Yep.
It really is.
And then the Wolf River Pub that April talked about, they took down the steel and they're working on the brick siding there. So a lot of good improvements we're seeing in the downtown district.
Chad, at our last meeting, there was some money left. You said there's a couple thousand left.
Don't
Is
quote
that
me,
spoken
it's
for?
Either 1,400 or 1,200 left, somewhere in that realm.
Did that get spoken for? Or is that still available?
That is still available.
Okay.
So the matching grant was up to a $4,000 grant, but with everything that you see on this list here, we have, it's either $1,200 or $1,400 left. Something like that.
Okay,
Does that
thanks.
carry over to next year, or is that still, is the application process still considered open?
The facade program is renewed every year. So what we do as a city to fund it is that every year we do our city audit. And if there's leftover funds, if it's a good year and we didn't have over expenditures, if we brought in more revenue, as we do the audit, the city council will consider designating money for different programs or for projects or for capital improvements. So typically what we've done is we put a portion into capital projects or capital equipment that we need, leftover funds from last year, or this project or this program has been renewed every year because of those leftover funds from the previous year. Providing that we have leftover funds from the 2025 budget, fingers crossed, and providing that the council wants to renew it again, we'll consider that for 2026. And I've had people inquire about 2026 already. They weren't ready for 2025, but they wanted to know if it's going to be for 2026. And I've said, just what I told you, it's renewed on a yearly basis.
And that's what I was gonna touch on too. You said it, we're seeing a lot of these improvements. I've been fielding a lot of requests too, that people are noticing what's happening in this downtown. Who's doing that? Where can I get their information? And just doing the networking of putting them together. So they can further their upgrades on their buildings too. May not necessarily be directly downtown tied in facade grants, but they are catching on and want to do those upgrades to around the community as well.
Some nice momentum going on recently, which is good to report on. If there's no more questions on that, a couple other things, more facade improvements. So we mentioned about, I was going to show this last month, but we had a full meeting last month. Zach Witt, the owner of the old city hall, provided me a bunch of pictures of some of the improvements that he's had already. And I just want to share that with the committee because some of these improvements are substantial. He's really taken done a lot of work there already. So you can see there was a lot of need for some repairs to the roofing. You can kind of see that there was plenty of rot going on that needed repairs there. They actually had to take off the entire roof on a section there to replace it. Kind of just see some of the improvements there. There was a little rot going on in that building, if you can see there. So there was some definite need for tender loving care. And luckily we have an owner now that is putting some money into that. So it's not getting to the point that we lose a historic building in our downtown. So a lot of work's been done in that area already. And not only on the outside, but there's some inside pictures here that he's working on some of the inside rooms in the building.
It's so nice to see someone local that wants to invest in our commercial buildings.
It's fun to see some of these before and after pictures. Some of these coming up right now. Just how beautiful it's turned out, restoring the floors and bringing out the brick. Pretty cool. So that's it for that. Kudos to Zach for, doing that and investing in downtown New London, especially a historic building like that. So that's really cool. A couple other things real quick. City staff, we're in budget mode right now. So we are developing our 2026 budget. We're developing our 2026 budget. So if At the next meeting, I will be presenting our economic development focuses for 2026. So if there's any economic development focuses that you guys can think of that you want to consider for your 2026 budget, contact me so I have that ready to go to present at next month's meeting. Along those same lines, last week I spoke with an individual from Benchmark Realty. They own the parcels on the south side of the city. Remember where the old Benchmark building was? By the, here's the city sign on Mill Street by Industrial Loop Road. And then here's that park and ride by 15 and 45 here. Benchmark owns these two parcels here. They're getting ready to market it for sale or for build a suite. So it's going to be exciting that this is going to come up for sale. One of the things I want to kind of put a bug into the committee's back of your heads right now. This could be a potential development. I see this being an exciting development just because it's on one of our main corridors coming into the city, especially directly from the Fox Valley. We own as a city this parcel here. That's where the city signs. One thing I want to put the bug in your ears is if you would consider in the future, if we get a development going on here, would we consider selling this parcel for the continued development? And then one thing I would like to recommend is that the city sign, if we can relocate it on the corner of 1545. So you see the City of New London sign on that prominent corner instead of tucked back on Industrial Loop Road and Mill Street. I've done research already. It looks like there is a permitting opportunity through the DOT to put a city sign on there right away. So I've already checked that out. Obviously, it's going to be a process and probably red tape, but just keep that in mind. This is about 0.9 acres. It's almost a full acre of land. So, and this is in the TID district. We've got a TID district that's on the south side. I think it's TID 6. This is in the TID district, so we can incentivize some developments in that area. But
That whole
Benchmark's-
property is within the TID?
this one, ours.
Yeah.
This vacant property, and then this vacant property. I did not have the building, the parcel with the old building on it. And I'm glad we didn't, because if we would have had that parcel in the TID district, they actually removed value when they tore down the building. And that would have been negative on our TID district. So it was
Okay.
to our benefit that we didn't have that in the TID at the time. But this parcel and this parcel, you know, we could talk about adding this parcel in the TID district, but just that small parcel, I don't know if it's gonna be worth it, you know, to go through that.
Depends on what they decide to develop.
Yeah, it's
probably a long drawn out process. Can we just start the process of moving that city sign that nobody can really see anyway when they drive by and put it out where it belongs? At the edge of the city?
that's exactly what I was talking about. If you want me to put a number in our 2026 budget, that's where I was getting to leading
Yes,
into the
please.
budget. Like, so we'll talk about that as well. So, along
Yeah,
this-
we've talked about that a few times. and
yes, yeah.
I'd
So-
like to see what that would consist of for our budget for 2026.
Perfect. Similar, a little bit different. I've recently had communications with a couple of our existing businesses in our northeast New London Business Center. A reoccurring theme I've gotten from the two businesses I talked to, they are continuing looking for employees, recruitment. And a similar comment, it was eerie, it was almost like deja vu. A similar comment from both of them was that we're interviewing people, some of them are from New London, and most of them don't even know we exist in this city, that they don't even know we're there. So that's been triggered in my head a couple times about, you know, if they don't even know the businesses are there, people probably don't even know that industrial park is there. So another thing is, would we in the future want to consider some type of signage, probably at that, you know, 45D, double D intersection, letting everybody know as they're driving by about the industrial park. And then I've seen some industrial park signs that have the businesses that are in the
Listed.
industrial park on that sign. So potentially that could be another way to not only draw interest and, you know, just let people know about our industrial park, but let people know who's in our industrial park as well. That one I did get some information from. About 2 years ago, I did get a quote for, and if you imagine this is on a highway where people are going 55, 60 miles an hour, it's got to be a big sign. Think about if you would have a industrial park sign and then business signs underneath that. Those business signs have to be big enough that you're gonna see the business. And if you're driving at that speed, it's pretty big. This would be a very large sign. It's probably gonna be $100,000 to $200,000 to do something to that magnitude if we go that route. But
Are we able to do a temporary sign that says that we have, you know, room for development in our industrial park?
one of the other things would be is we gotta acquire some land, because we don't have any land for any type of our signage in that area. So there's steps we'd have to go through with that as well.
When we, a couple of months ago, we agreed that we were gonna focus our city sign
Mhm.
for the industrial park. I mean, have we gone anywhere forward with that? Cause we wanna change that sign every year or whatever. And we had said, you know, what do we wanna do for the next billboard?
The billboard.
that sign, okay,
Okay,
sorry.
the
I'm
billboard
sorry,
wrap,
the billboard.
yeah.
And we had said, let's focus on trying to get that industrial park. So I mean, there's your sign right there. It's the billboard.
That would be an
And then-
excellent next sign.
Aren't they putting a roundabout on D
Yes.
and 45? So that's gonna slow down traffic as well.
Correct.
So just
Mhm.
saying.
Yep. So to Tim's point, 2026, the DOT has planned for redoing Highway 45, and they are planning on a roundabout at 50 or at 45 and D. So to Tim's point, yeah,
Under the sign that you're proposing, would the individual corporations or entities be buying their own signage or paying for their own signage? Or is that something that we would be paying for?
to be determined. Haven't even got that far yet. I think I want to reach out to some other municipalities and see what they kind of do, but I think everything is on the table right now.
I think it's worth exploring,
Mhm.
doing initial exploration into that.
Maybe at next month's meeting, could we discuss about that billboard again? Cause I know we kind of talked about it, but it hasn't gone anywhere.
Yep.
Cause that was part of, we'd said, let's focus on that industrial park for that billboard.
Yep, I think I'm glad you said that, because it's probably time that we start doing this, so we have something, at least we have the contacts and we've got process now figured out with the company, which is gonna save us time.
I know they like to work on the billboard in the winter when it's frozen,
Yes,
so.
absolutely. Excellent idea.
Thank you, Tim.
And the last thing I got is April and I were invited. We're gonna be interviewing on Channel 5 on, I think it was sometime in the middle of September, for their Newsmaker Sunday program. So we're gonna be promoting New London. I'm not sure when the air date's gonna be for that, but we were invited to come meet Tom Zalaski and be interviewed about what's going on in New London. So we're gonna take another opportunity to promote the city.
Excellent.
That's all I have.
Okay. Any more questions for Chad regarding the city administrator report? Okay, hearing none. Potential agenda items for future meetings would be a review of an offer to purchase the property.
If
If it comes forward, yep. If we can finalize any kind of offer. In the Northeast New London Business Center from Avangrid. A hotel feasibility study. Transportation updates, childcare updates, and housing updates.
and budget.
And the big one is the budget, yes.
I like to add
And
the
billboard.
city billboard.
City billboard.
And we talked to, we met with a SBDC from Oshkosh and Stevens Point today, Chad and I did, and they are interested in potentially bringing some programming to New London, so that could be a future agenda item. The committee thinks that's a good idea.
Absolutely.
Would there be an interest in approaching benchmark development and seeing if they would want to do some kind of a land swap? Hey, we've got this 1 acre that you could use in marketing for your development down there. We need to purchase some land for our industrial park to make a swap. Like, they could go find the land for us, purchase it, whatever.
Possibly. I think my first step, I want to find out what the cost of that sign would be. To relocate that. And my thought was that whoever we sell it to at least would want to try to get money from that land sale to help pay for the sign. You know, building a new sign on 1545, you know, in that area, but I think anything's on the table.
Okay. Any other potential agenda items for future meetings? Okay, hearing none. The next meeting date would be September 23rd at 5:15 here. Is that all right with with all of the committee members? Okay, hearing no objections to that, we will plan for that. With no further discussion, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Moved by Hans, seconded by Bill. All in favor? Any opposed? Abstentions? The meeting